Welcome to Sage X3's Coffee Break Demo Series. I'm Dave Cranage, Field Sales Engineer for Sage X3. Today's Coffee Break session will be a general overview of Sage X3, showing the look, feel, and navigation of the system. Following the demonstration, we'll have a short Q&A session, so please enter any questions you may have in the meeting chat. Sage X3 is a complete cloud-enabled end-to-end global ERP solution, helping companies manage business at a low cost and on a global scale. X3 provides a faster, more intuitive and customizable business management solution for growing enterprises, delivering favorable ROI and a more personalized experience for businesses than traditional enterprise resource planning systems. So let's log in and get more familiar with Sage X3. Sage X3 is the next-generation business management solution enabling global enterprises to grow faster and run more agile. Sage X3 is a 100% browser-based enterprise resource planning solution. It is completely browser-independent, supporting all major browsers. It is platform and device independent and can be accessed on any device that supports a browser. It is developed using HTML5 and responsive design, providing an optimal viewing experience for the user across devices, and it is a cloud-enabled solution, providing users safe and secure access to data from anywhere. Sage X3 is offered as a SaaS solution with flexible configuration options. It can be deployed as a cloud-hosted single or multi-tenant solution managed by Sage utilizing Amazon Web Services, or hosted in the cloud by a Sage X3 partner, or in your company data center as an on-prem solution. Sage X3 is software for established businesses that seek greater efficiency, flexibility, and insight. As we start to explore, there are a couple of key X3 concepts I'd like to introduce. The first concept is that X3 is a single ERP solution supporting discrete, process, distribution, service, and multimodal global manufacturing operations. X3 provides powerful solutions for customer, financial, supply chain, production, and product management. The second concept is that X3 is a system of multi-company, multi-site, multi-warehouse, multi-country, multi-legislation, multi-language, and multi-currency. Sage X3 can expand to meet the needs of your growing business. Sage X3 supports single company with multiple business units, single company with multi-site, multi-language, multi-currency, and multi-legislation, multi-company reporting up to a group, inter-site planning and transfer, inter-site and company planning, and transfers through arm's length transactions, built for a global economy and global compliance, and insight across the enterprise, one source of data. Let's take a closer look at our current X3 screen. This is the user's home screen. The home screen is the user's home base, if you will, what the user sees when they first log in. The user's role and personal preferences dictate what the home screen looks like. The home screen serves as the user's main method for accessing X3 applications and functions. If we look closely, we can see that the home screen can be divided up into sub-elements. Let's look first at the X3 toolbar. The X3 toolbar includes several important functions. First is the Sage button. Clicking this brings the user back to the X3 home screen. The user's personal settings shows the user's profile, default language, and display preferences. The user's role shows the current user's accumulated roles which dictate their level of access and security. The endpoint is the database the current user is associated with. And help provides access to Sage X3's 24/7 online help center, knowledge base, and other useful tools. Also located on the toolbar is the X3 navigation menu. The navigation menu is an easy-to-use permission-controlled map of all the menus and functions that make up the system. It is designed for easy searching, navigation, and scrolling throughout the page. All X3 functions, inquiries, and reports on the navigation menu can be added to the user's bookmark list. The X3 bookmarks or favorites list is a list of the user's most used functions available for quick access. These favorites can be represented as a toolbar or as a drop-down list, whichever is preferred by the user. Lastly, the Sage X3 toolbar has a Google-like search engine that allows users to use keywords to search the system content. Let's input bike. Notice that the results show all the instances where the search found the key input bike. From the results screen, I can directly access a specific piece of data. I can also choose to filter the data by category, such as sales order, products, customers, or suppliers. By clicking on the sales orders, I only see the sales orders that have a reference to bike in them. Click on a sales order, and X3 takes you right to that record. A very powerful and easy tool for finding things quickly in X3. Now that we've reviewed the toolbar, let's move on to landing pages. Landing pages are highly customizable with gadgets and serve to help users with daily activities, responsibilities, and real-time reporting. Default landing pages are based on a user's group or role-based permissions and are typically made up of a standardized set of role-specific tabs, functions, and reports. A user can have many My Landing Pages custom configured by the user. In the My Landing Pages section of the home screen, a user has the freedom to choose the gadgets that make them the most efficient and represent how they like to interact with X3. Gadgets are toolbars, charts and graphs, inquiries, calendars, external links, or specific visual process maps that help a user complete daily tasks. Let's use the manufacturing overview to review the concept of visual process maps. Visual process maps are a visual representation of a company's business functions and aid in navigating to those specific functions within Sage X3. There are more than 200 pre-built visual process maps available out of the box with X3. There is also an easy-to-use design tool available to modify existing visual process maps or create new custom maps. The system comes with a variety of icons and images that can be utilized on the maps, from the icons that you see here to more basic shapes, buttons, arrows, or images. You can even upload and use your own images for a personalized look. Clicking on an icon launches the corresponding X3 function, an external web page, or navigates to another visual process map. Let's put what we've learned so far to use by enhancing the My Manufacturing landing page with some new gadgets. We'll then use MS Excel to extract some data to a spreadsheet. First, let's add a new tab to our landing page. We are prompted to add a gadget, so let's choose Process Maps and search for CRM. And here under North American Process Map Library is the visual process map I'm looking for CRM, so we'll say OK. So I've added that visual process map, but we got plenty of real estate, so let's go ahead and add a dynamic query. And I want that query to be for sales orders. And it's this one right here that I'm looking for. And so now I have my two gadgets, but I still want to do a little housekeeping. So I'm going to edit my tab. I'm going to name it My Customer Data. I'm going to define it so that the two gadgets are right next to each other. And then I'm going to shrink down the extra white space I have. We'll stop it right there. And now I have plenty of room here to expand my inquiry. And let's try 25. Yeah, that looks about right. Now, in the inquiry itself, I'm going to set a filter. So I'm going to set my site to NA012, which is my North America site. And then I just want to make sure that my order numbers are in ascending order. So here you can see they're in ascending order. And then lastly, using my action card, I'm actually going to ask the system to drop the data that it's filtered to Excel. Now, we do have the ability to create Excel report templates that I can call upon, but in this case, I don't have one that I want to use for this data. I'm just going to say no template, and I'm going to hit OK. And yes, I do want to leave the page for a second, and I want to open up Microsoft Excel. Now, the system has checked my user ID and verified that I have the correct credentials to import this data because and I should say extract this data because in fact we're not just importing and dumping that data into Excel. You'll notice in fact that a lot of these columns are hyperlinks. We actually create a relationship between this Excel spreadsheet through a query back to X3's database. So if you will, they have a relationship between each other. It's not just dumped data and that's it. And to show you, if I go ahead here and I just grab a whole bunch of these 2019 orders and delete them, they're not in the Excel spreadsheet anymore. I can actually go right back and ask Excel to reach back out to X3 and gather that data again. So this is very powerful. It allows us to create tools that read in real time data from the system, whether that be a PowerPoint or a Word document, or in this case it's an Excel spreadsheet, whether I'm using this data as pivot data or data for a chart or a graph. That information can be saved and that relationship can be saved so that when I need to, I can call that up, refresh it like I just did, and I have my data to use at that moment in time. And as I mentioned, you do also have the ability to create those report templates. Those can also be called upon from inside of X3. And let's say, don't save that. So I'm back on my customer data tab. And really the last thing that I want to do is let's just grab our tab. Maybe we want to move our tab in between manufacturing and scheduling. So I'm going to grab that tab and I'm just going to shuffle it over and drop it where I want it. And it's that simple to modify my landing pages as a user. Let's jump back to my X3 page where we can access the customer 360-degree search. The customer 360-degree view or search is a real-time customer inquiry engine. It allows us to globally search for existing prospects or customers and then dynamically display all of their associated information within the X3 system. By entering search criteria, I can find and narrow down my list of accounts. With the desired account selected, the customer search provides immediate access to quotes, sales orders, deliveries, and invoices, as well as other historical and financial information. In addition to accessing data, you can create new customers, orders, and quotes quickly and easily directly from the screen. Let's head back to the home screen and select the Product Master from our navigation toolbar. The Product Master is the central source of product information for many X3 business functions. The Product Master utilizes a classic X3 screen consisting of three sections: the left list, center console, and right panel. With the left list, you create and save your own selection filters and set them as defaults. There are also pre-built filters such as last read that make finding recently viewed items quick and easy. The center console is divided into various tabs. The tabs represent the detailed information pertaining to the selected record in the left list, which can be accessed by clicking on the desired tab and jumping to that section. The right list extends functionality and access to further information. For example, you can access inquiries, branch off to costing, view BOMs and routings, or select a custom data filter to apply. Together, they comprise an interactive connected workspace that provides a 360-degree view of the product within the system. This classic screen is used throughout X3, making it easier and quicker to learn the system. In addition to the three main sections of the screen, the toolbar provides functionality to print key documents, export data, record comments, and attach important files to any record in X3. Let's head back to our home screen to discuss the concept of notification and workflow. If visual process maps graphically represent a company's business functions, then Sage X3's workflow capability represents a documented process of how a task runs through a business from one person or action to the next. Workflows triggered by an action or condition and supported by a full audit trail are the most used visual tools for ensuring governance, traceability, and accountability. Workflows help you manage by exception and reduce administrative overhead. Workflows can be automated, typically through real-time email notifications, saving considerable time and improving visibility. Workflows can also be associated to an approval or signature management process, speeding up the response time and reducing the typical manual effort involved. To illustrate a standard X3 workflow pre-built in the system, let's create a new quote. We'll use Funtime Stores as our customer. And the red radio flyer wagon as our product. And the customer wants 30. Now that we have our new quote, let's head back to the home screen and review what workflow actions were triggered by our quote creation. First, notice that our quote creation triggered the creation of a reminder on my CRM calendar. I have access to the task directly from the calendar, so I can quickly update the task status, notes, and comments. I even have a phone number link to start a VoIP call directly from the calendar. This specific X3 workflow also started a signature approval process and sent email notifications to the required approvers for quick review. Let's jump over to Outlook to review the email sent and its available approval options. Here in my inbox is the email sent by the workflow. The email provides the approver with specific hyperlinks to approve or reject the quote. Let's go ahead and approve our quote. The email also provides links to a summary, mobile, or detailed view of the quote. This way, an approver can review the quote before giving the OK. Let's jump back over to the home screen and open the X3 Workflow Monitor to review the audit trail created by the workflow. Not only does X3 automate and streamline process workflows, but every stage is documented and can be reviewed, equipping a customer with full visibility of their data and full control over every stage of their business process. Let's head back to the home screen for a look at my BI and Analytics landing page. Full visibility and insight into data also applies when making business decisions. By showing current as well as historical data within their business context, Sage X3's business intelligence and reporting tools steer decision makers confidently in the right direction. X3 provides the best tools for the job, including queries, standard reports, and business intelligence tools that convert business data into useful and actionable information. Imagine logging into X3 as an owner, C-level executive, or manager and seeing a personal dashboard with all the information important to you. See how the enterprise dashboard displays a variety of information? This user has additional dashboards for sales, customers, procurement, manufacturing, inventory, and finance. These dashboards are seated in the system, but Sage X3 allows users to create their own dashboards specific to their needs and areas of responsibility. Let's look at the enterprise dashboard a little more closely. For better viewing, let's maximize the enterprise dashboard to its own tab. Notice that the dashboard is made up of both performance indicators as well as specific KPIs. Let's take a second to review some of the dashboard capabilities. First, BI offers slicers, or filters if you will. Here I have all items. Maybe we only want to look at North America. Notice if I go over to quantity produced and hover, I get more detail in a dialog pop-up box. Let's go over to gross margin and drill down, and the system takes me into more information, down to a greater level of detail. And then, of course, if we roll over to top 10 profitable customers, and I want to go into Fun Time Stores, again, a drill down, this time takes me to a new screen, or a sub-report, if you will, looking at different what we call statistical groups, and I'm able to actually expand the list. And in this case, there's our red wagon. Let's drill into that. And here now I'm looking at specific, in this case, sales invoices, right? So these are sales invoices. And then with a click of a button, I'm able to drill all the way into the record. So very, very powerful ability within X3 to go from business intelligence at a very high level to the next level down, to the next level down. So you're drilling into further insight, further data, and then the ability to, if necessary, drill all the way into the individual business transaction. And then within the business transaction itself, if we come over to our right panel, we have a concept called journal traceability, which gives us visibility to all the transactions, both forward and backward, depending on the business transaction that you're on. And it will show you the full journal traceability of all the business transactions that took place within the system. So one other thing that I want to point out is these are all dashboards showing KPIs and performance indicators, but what if we desired to have a real-time, real dynamic report? So our business intelligence tools within X3 can also be used to generate a real-time, real drillable report that, based on detail and interaction, you're able to get the data and get to the level of the data that you're looking for. And the other key thing about the BI tools is the ability to send out report packages on a timely manner, right? So at the beginning of every month, if the sales manager wants to see the reports from last month, those can be packaged up and delivered promptly to them at the right time. Executives and their management teams that are utilizing Sage X3's reporting and business intelligence are confident that the decisions they make are the right ones. Businesses that run on Sage X3 are more agile and competitive in today's global market than those that cling to old manual systems. Our goal for this demonstration was to show a general overview of Sage X3, showing the look, feel, and navigation of the system. Sage X3 is the next generation business management solution for enterprises in search of efficiency, system flexibility, and business intelligence needed to grow a faster and more agile organization. Thanks for attending this Sage X3 overview demo.